Hello, my name is Anna Fiałkowska and today I'm going to present my views on whether it is possible or desirable to improve organizational performance using HRM strategies. For the purpose of this presentation, I'm going to take a resource-based view, seeing people as the most important assets of an organization, enabling it to grow. Due to time constraints, I'm going to focus on one specific HRM strategy only, namely the employee resourcing strategy. I will avoid lengthy considerations about any other theories linking HRM in general and organizational performance, such as best practice and best fit, as extensively discussed in Story and other HRM textbooks. Becker and Gerhardt noted that the need to demonstrate positive impact on organizational performance lies within all functions of the organization. According to CIPD, the strategic approach to human resource management does provide organizations with such competitive advantage. But it follows a shift in thinking, as in 1988, Legning-Hall and Legning-Hall argued there was little evidence to support claims of direct links between HRM strategies and organizational performance. Whereas almost 10 years later, Guest concluded that HRM as a system works. Hopefully, by the end of this presentation, it will become clearer where HRM strategies are at the moment. But what actually is a strategy? According to Deloitte, an effective HR strategy is a roadmap for generating company's value through its employees. Employee resourcing strategy is defined by Armstrong as the practice of obtaining and retaining the people organization needs at any given time and using them effectively. It is further seen by Keep as the fundament of other HRM strategies, and that's why it has been chosen for this presentation. And there is also some evidence linking this specific strategy to improved organizational performance. And firstly, Foot and Hook presented B&Q as an example of a company that was extremely successful in focusing on all the employees in their recruitment and selection, and their stores that were specifically utilizing this strategy to recruitment and selection were the most successful in their performance. Further support for this specific strategy comes from Scandinavia and the findings of Eskildsen, Christiansen and Westlund, who concluded that older workers are more committed to their jobs. More specifically, Mar-Tokyo found negative correlation between the age of employee and the levels of absence. Also, Dillingham highlighted that older workers engage in fewer work-related accidents than the younger employees do. And although this strategy might initially boost organizational performance, the long-term effects on employees are important to consider. Oswig and Rosenthal demonstrated that making the workplace more of a homogeneous group, such as consisting mostly of older employees, can cause same-group discrimination, having then adverse effects on organizational performance. And what we also should consider that the evidence presented from Scandinavia and other studies actually raises issues of reliability and validity, because what these studies actually tell us is that there's a difference between generations and how they respond to absence and how they respond to job commitment. They don't tell us that one person throughout their lifetime is going to be more committed to their job and engage in less work-related accidents once they get older. And additionally, in accordance with the Equality Act 2010, excluding younger workers, simply on the basis of age, can cause severe legal implications. But when we think about that, the B&Q strategy was really focused on inclusion, the inclusion of more numbers of older workers. And in a way, it followed the Michigan model of HRM, as described by von Brum, Tichy and Divana, where the recruitment and selection matched the whole HRM strategy, as well as the entire business strategy. So when looking at B&Q, it was to employ an older worker to appeal to B&Q's typical older customer. And this point perhaps needs further consideration, as it clearly shows that employee resourcing strategy does not operate in a vacuum. Even in 1992, author talked about the alignment of workplace-industrial relations system and the business strategy within American mini mills. More recently, Lufthansa and Sommer focused on electric company and talked about bundles of high-performance work practices. While Armstrong defines employee resourcing strategy as consisting of recruitment, selection, reward management, learning and development, so a bundle of practices. So following on from this, McDuffie, based on international data from automotive industries, talks about positive bundling, about the need to create powerful combinations. In a similar way, Delury cautions against deadly combinations. So what this might mean in practice in order to improve organizational performance, that the recruitment of all the workers is not a standalone system. So it has to be further supported by, for example, the use of family-oriented reward schemes and not undermined by the use of e-learning modules and training. Another aspect of employee resourcing strategy is retention, and its effectiveness on organizational performance can be seen when comparing two American wholesale brands, Costco and Walmart, as done by Casio. Walmart promises always low prices, with huge stress on always. This is delivered through low wages for its employees and anti-union attitude. Now, Costco also delivers low prices for its customers, but their employees are paid well, they receive care benefits, are allowed to join unions, and there are plenty of internal opportunities for promotion. Overall, Costco's hourly labor rates are 40% higher than the ones for Walmart. But the higher wages and other practices put together enable Costco to follow their strategy of retaining staff, to focus on keeping people within the organization and improving them from within. And this is shown through its unusually low for the sector turnover of only 17% compared to Walmart's 44%. And more importantly, the productivity per employee is much higher at Costco, meaning that its labor costs at the end of the day are much lower than the ones for Walmart. However, Costco's generous business strategy and HRM strategy received some criticism from Wall Street analysts such as Holmes and Zellner, who do acknowledge the benefits for customers and employees, but highlight lower shareholder value. And this in a way clashes with the notion that part of effective organizational performance is a shareholder value. But then Walmart's strategy, despite producing better value for its shareholders, raises issues of wide application. According to Pascal, the way in which employee resourcing strategy, including retention, is approached has to be flexible enough to reflect new challenges. For example, Tololikar notes that Walmart's anti-union model and lack of retention strategy was not transferable in Germany, where employees commonly utilize their legal rights of employment and legal rights of participation through work councils. On a more general note, we need to remember that there can be a third variable affecting the way in which employee resourcing strategy and HRM strategies in general impact on organizational performance. Peterson tells an anecdote set in Netherlands where an increase in the number of storks correlated with an increase in the number of newborns, making some believe that storks were bringing babies. The data behind it actually revealed that it was good weather that brought more storks to the cities and invited more sailors, who were in turn responsible for the baby boom. In a similar way, Kaplan and Norton noted that in terms of HRM strategies, the assets are very bundled and the pathways to increased organizational performance are therefore very indirect and very, very complex. But now, do organizations actually want HRM strategies to improve their organizational performance? According to CIPD survey results from 2005, 75% of HR managers do acknowledge to have a written HR strategy. Someone have asked them to produce that strategy, therefore it highlights it has been desired by the organization. But on the other hand, in Deloitte survey from 2007, 31% of surveyed executives stated their company's HR capabilities needed significant improvements, and 46% were only satisfied. In essence, it seems that Kaplan and Norton were right in stating a disconnection between formulation and execution in the area of HRM strategy. Others, such as Leek, were more critical and identified a mismatch between management rhetoric and reality. Overall, the evidence presented takes a step back to the beginning of this presentation, where a shift in thinking about HRM strategies was presented. This was followed by evidence from all over the world and from a variety of industries. And what emerges at the moment is a confirmation that yes, indeed, under some circumstances and when specific criteria are met, organizational performance can be increased by the use of employee resourcing strategy and HRM strategies perhaps in general as well. But we will never know what percentage of the HRM strategy is responsible for what percentage of the organizational improvement. Also, it all depends on its execution, which seems to be the main issue at the moment. So perhaps in order to solve the dispute, the relay has to be passed to practitioners. Thank you for listening.